this time, I want to introduce a very special guest. Her name is Leoma Carter. Leoma first came to Epworth 15 years ago as a troubled teenager, and she had nowhere to live and no one to help her. Well, she turned her life around, and today she has graciously agreed to share her story with us. Everyone, please welcome Leoma to the stage.
Hello, how are you? Very good. I was born into chaos. At the time, my mother was a 30-year-old IV heroin addict with a 2-year-old son who she already had no ability to care for. Just weeks old, she placed me in the care of my uncle's one-time girlfriend, who later adopted me. By the time I was 5, my mother was facing jail time for various offenses, including child abuse and neglect. I testified against her during hearings at the St. Louis County Juvenile Courts, and she was sentenced to prison. I was always an honor roll student, but in spite of my academic successes, I struggled behaviorally. I was suspended for aggressive behavior and fights with my peers. By 5th grade, my rage was uncontrollable. After a violent brawl with my adoptive mom, she released me back into Division of Family Services. I was heartbroken. At 11, I was adopted by my grandmother, a well-rounded, well-educated woman. Honor roll wasn't good enough for her. She demanded straight A's. While in my grandmother's care, I was diagnosed with many mental health issues. I was on more medications than I can name, and yet I was more violent and more suicidal than ever. By age 15, my grandmother had had enough too. She checked me into every psychiatric facility that was available to youth. Unsatisfied with my progress, she released me back into DFS custody. Another trusted adult had given up on me. By the time I got the call for an interview with Epworth, I'd almost lost hope. I was in the custody of Division of Family Services, and my caseworker had been trying to find placement for over 30 days. She told me to make sure to show them what a lovely young lady I was. Thank God it worked. I was accepted. I'd never lived in a group home environment outside of psychiatric hospital stays. I was surprised to find out how wonderful it was. Epworth had so many great programs for me to participate in, like Greek Week and prom. I'd never felt so free. They allowed us to attend regular public schools. I enrolled at Webster Groves High School. Epworth provided me all the comforts as any other teen living at home. I was able to shop, visit the hair salon, and even go to church. Among the best experiences were participating in the independent living program. I worked on campus as a paid clerical assistant, and there was even a savings program. I was on Epworth's campus for a little over a year before I was placed in their independent living program, and I moved into my very own apartment by the age of 16. By then, I'd earned my GED, and I was enrolled in the community college. After I had received services from Epworth for nearly 2 years, I was granted emancipation before my 17th birthday. My problems were far from over, but one thing was very clear. I was responsible for my own personal well-being. In the midst of this chaotic adolescence, I used to think of the benefits of suicide and how I would no longer have to live in misery, misunderstood and absent of the love and affection that I so desired. By the time I turned 23, I lost all hope. I wrote a suicide letter while sitting in the home that I used to share with my grandmother. I'd taken over 20 prescription painkillers, and I sat on the sofa quietly waiting to die. I woke up to a nurse sitting on my chest. She was bearing all of her weight on me. I was disappointed to be alive, but deep inside, I knew that this was my turning point. Shortly after the suicide attempt, I became pregnant. After enduring a challenging pregnancy and an increasingly volatile relationship with my son's father, I reached a turning point when I shared a special moment with my young son. He was not even 6 months old, but he was speaking to me. His eyes said, "I love you." His heart was saying, "I need you." It was at that moment I experienced a spiritual awakening. My heart told my disturbing thoughts to shut up. I declared war on anything that was going to jeopardize me being a great mom to my son. After 27 years of surviving, I decided to live on purpose. Around this time, my biological mother reached out to me and asked to be in our lives. And she became an incredible source of support for me. She's remained sober, and she's been available whenever I've called. I have tears in my eyes when I think of her being a grandmother. Actually, we call her G-Mama. She shows up for duty with a pride that I've never seen before. The pain and the hurt in our relationship has been replaced with healing and forgiveness. The shouts have been replaced with respect. Because of her willingness to step up, I was able to accept a job with a community treatment agency. I enrolled in the St. Louis University School of Social Work, taking night and online classes. I began to volunteer with the St. Louis Public School District and with the St. Louis Effort for AIDS. Not long ago, I came upon Epworth's teen drop-in shelter. I'd only stopped by to drop off brochures for resources provided by my current employer. I was so amazed by all of the service that they provided. I offered to be a volunteer with Epworth and found they welcomed my help. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to come full circle and give back to Epworth. I share my experiences with the teens at the drop-in center. What a better way to heal. I'm committed to being a source of support to all the struggling individuals. My time at Epworth laid a foundation for all that I am today. I'm a 29-year-old single mother with a happy, healthy son named Jermaine. I've been gainfully employed for over 3 years while maintaining a 3.3 GPA toward a secondary degree at St. Louis University. I live on purpose now. Thank you. I live on purpose now. I will forever be grateful to Epworth and to everyone who was committed to seeing me through. Thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you all for your contributions. You guys are making a world of difference in the lives of so many people. Thank you.